Good evening guys, and welcome to my video tutorial on the installation of XAMPP. XAMPP is a local web platform where you can do all your web development on. So I'm just going to show you how to install XAMPP, and then after the installation I am going to show you how to create your first PHP page. So the first thing you need to do is you need to go to the XAMPP website. So what I first do is I'm going to search for XAMPP, and Google is my default search engine that I usually use to do research and stuff. So it will automatically search or do a search in Google for the XAMPP site. So the site name is apachefriends.org. So you can just click on the first link. That will take you through to the apachefriends.org website. So what you'll see in front of you is just a short description of what XAMPP is. It'll say XAMPP is the most popular PHP development environment. So XAMPP is a completely free, easy to install Apache distribution containing MySQL, PHP and Perl. The XAMPP open source package has been set up to be incredibly easy to install and use. So it just creates an environment for you to do web programming on. So depending on your operating system, if you have a Windows operating system, you would download that. And there's installation for installer for Linux and for Apple as well. So you can just click on the Windows installer, and that will take you through to the apachefriends.org downloads page, and from here you can just click to download the link just in case the site doesn't go through. And the main download link for XAMPP is right here, so you can just hit that button, the download button, and it will take you to the actual file that needs to be downloaded. So when your download starts, it's going to ask you where to save the file, so you can just click save file, and you can save it in the directory where you want to store your XAMPP installation files. I've already downloaded this installation file, so I'm not going to run through the download process. It's very simple. You just click the save button. So in your case, you would save it. I'm just going to cancel this for now because I already have the file. So after you have downloaded the XAMPP, you would go to your directory where you have stored the XAMPP installer, and you would install the program. So I'm just going to start the installation process by double clicking on the XAMPP installation file. The version that I'm using is version 1.8.3. So the first thing that they warn you about is an antivirus protection that's running on your computer. So you can just continue with the installation. The second warning is about the user account control that may block XAMPP from running services immediately. So you can just click OK there as well. So the first screen is just your welcome page to XAMPP. So you can just click next to start the installation process. On the next screen, they ask you to select the components which you want to install. I would suggest leaving it by everything ticked by default, because you are most probably going to use most of them. You can just hit next. The second, or the installation folder screen, just where the installation should take place. And again, I would suggest to leave these at its default values. So you can just click next, and I'm going to tick or untick the box to learn more about XAMPP or Bitnami for XAMPP. You can go and check it out by clicking on the link over there. If you leave the tick box on, you will probably be taken to their site as well. So you can just click next, and the last screen just notifies you that it's ready to install the program. So you can click next, and this is where the installation starts. So the program are now being installed, and as soon as the installation is finished, XAMPP will automatically configure the basic system settings for you so that you can run the web service and develop your project in the htdocs folder. So I will show you where that folder is located as well. It's a very easy setup. They do, or the installer basically do everything for you. All you need to do after the installation is start the necessary services, and from there on do the programming. I remember in previous versions of XAMPP that I've used before, so you can set the services to automatically start when your Windows start. So I'm pretty sure these versions, the latter versions, will enable you to do that. So while the installation takes place, I'm going to show you a quick website where you can go to learn more about PHP. So you can enter the domain name code academy.com. So just take note, it's codecademy.com, not Code Academy. So there you see the correct spelling for Codecademy. So if you go to this website and you scroll down, you will see the different courses that you can run on this site. They show you exactly how to program in PHP, Ruby, Python, JavaScript, jQuery, and HTML and CSS. If you create accounts on this site, you can keep track of your progress. So this is a great place to learn to do programming. They also have an APIs section where you learn how to integrate with programs like Twitter, Facebook, and Blogger. So it's always good to improve your skills in as many languages as possible. That just helps you to understand things in a broader spectrum. So I'm going to close this one. The installation might take a few minutes depending on your machine. So I might pause this video just for a short while and wait for the installation to finish. Alright, the installation is close to finish now. So we are just going to wait for the last few bits to install, and it will tell us when the installation is finished. So this is basically XAMPP that we've installed now. A local environment where you can do your PHP web development on. It also includes Tomcat for Java development. So the world is out there for you to explore in terms of development. We're not just restricted to PHP development. So what's happening now is XAMPP is just creating the uninstaller files and setting up the environment on your machine so that you can do the programming thereon. So it should be finished. There we go. This is the last screen just saying that XAMPP installed correctly and the installation is successful. And they just ask if you want to install or start the control panel now. So you can just click finish for that. And I've noticed with Windows 8, this window here prevents you from starting Apache. So you may want to close this window before hitting the start button of Apache in the control panel. This is basically the control panel that you are going to use when you do the web, or when you want to enable the web platform on your machine. So you're just going to hit the start Apache button as well as the start MySQL button. So that's all you have to do. You can close this because you're not going to use it again until you are starting it up the next time. So The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to navigate to the XAMPP folder. So that is located on your C drive, where its default installation path was if you kept it that way. So I'm just going to open that up, and within the XAMPP folder you'll see a HD docs folder. And if you double click on that, this is where you're going to list all your projects. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new folder called demo, and I'm going to leave it blank for now. When you open your web browser, you will be able to access that demo folder by first typing localhost and then / the folder that is in your htdocs folder. So that is now the folder that we've created in the htdocs folder called demo. So if I hit enter, you will see that it brings up an empty directory. So this is where you're going to place your web projects. So I'm going to create a basic HTML page, and you are most probably familiar with it. Index.php, and it's the Hello World app. Very simple to do, and you're going to probably see that in every programming language that you are learning. The program that I use to write PHP coding is Notepad++, so you can download that from the web as well. It does syntax highlighting, which shows you when you're writing PHP code blocks, if you do Java programming or C++. It just makes programming easier. So the first thing that I'm going to do is create my basic HTML page structure. And I'm going to create the header, the head section, the title, and this is the folder I've called demo. So I'm going to open and close the body tags. And within the body tags, I'm going to put my PHP code. So for all PHP code, that is how you open the PHP tags. And within those tags, you are going to do your PHP programming. So for this tutorial, I'm just going to echo hello world. And that's all that I'm going to do for the programming. So I'm just going to minimize this. And that same web page that we had, I'm just going to refresh this, and there you see hello world, which is printed straight from PHP. So this is just a short tutorial on how to install XAMPP and how to write your very first PHP script. So one thing that you need to take note of, it's index.php. So the extension is PHP, and only if the extension is PHP will you be able to execute PHP code on your local web server. So that's all for this video tutorial. Keep an eye out for following tutorials.